Hi, I'm Harish Godeti and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is pretty interesting because I'm going to show you how to automate any kind of checklist that you may have in your business. Here I'm going to show you an example with accounting firm, but any kind of business, if you have checklist that you have to review each week, let's say you have a weekly checklist, monthly checklist that you want to automate, and you have to do it every week. So I'm going to show you how to automate those things with Qntrl. So let's dive right in. So in this example I have a checklist. Let's just say a weekly bookkeeping review checklist. Scan and save all source documents. We have these are just 5 entries that I have here, and that has to happen every week. So let's just say take this as an example. So what we do is we now go to Qntrl, which is here, and then we start a new orchestration. Let's just call it weekly checklist, weekly bookkeeping checklist. Save it. Then you come into a form layout, forms where you can add fields, remove fields, and do all kinds of stuff. So let's just remove some fields that we don't want. Maybe we don't need a priority for a checklist. We'll remove it. We don't need attachments. We'll remove it. Alright, so now we're going to add a new section. Alright, so and then rename this section and say checklist tasks. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a bunch of checkboxes. Like the first one, copy this, paste it, add another checkbox, next task in the checklist. Okay, then next one, one more, and the last one is, let's say this one. Alright, so let's just say we need to have one more, when someone reviews it, someone needs to approve. Let's just say this process has 2 steps. Someone will review saying, hey, all these things are done, and someone will sign off on it saying, yes, it is done. So for that, let's just say we need to add a drop down saying verified yes or no. Verified the records. We'll add a couple of options, yes, no. Alright, so I'll tell you when this will work, how this will work, right? So now that we have the form, basic form with with a bunch of activities that you want to, tasks that you want to automate. Now let's click next. So now we come into a screen where we call it's called creating a blueprint. So what does this basically process do, right? So that's what we're going to define. Let's say it has 2 stages. One is a review stage. Let's say review underway, right? And then we'll add one more stage, which is approval. Okay, so we'll add to the blueprint. Now we have 2 stages. So these are called stages and these are called transitions. So what is going to happen at this time is, so when it moves to approval, review underway, hold on. Alright, so we have a stage called review underway and we have a final stage called approval. So let's add another stage called verify, right? So verify. We'll add that stage after this. We'll go ahead and we'll change the transition to point to this, and then we'll go ahead and So that's how it's going to be. So what is going to happen in review? So who can perform this action? We can either say, we can go ahead and say who can perform this action. The assignee can perform this action, and what's going to happen during this stage. So what are they going to do? They're going to update a bunch of fields. So they're going to update all our these fields that we have in there is what they're going to do. So they are going to go ahead and review all the entries and do all that stuff during this process. So we're going to select all the fields. So the 5 fields, and that's what they're going to do in this stage. So now what happens is, when this review is done, then it's going to go to the verifier, and who's going to do this is basically we can put deadlines here, but right now I don't have any, and I'm going to add a transition here saying verified, right? And then I'm going to save it. And who can perform this is, again, let's just say assignee. You can have a requester, manager, a bunch of people who can do it. For this example, let's just leave it here. And what are they going to do in this stage is they're going to tell you whether all the verification is true or not. So where is that? Verified the records. Yeah, so this is what they're going to do, right? So finally, the verification is done, the approval is done, they're going to close this ticket. So let's see if we got everything right. So let's just save and validate. So we got it right. So we're going to move on, and we're going to save it. So when we are going to make it available for the complete organization. So save and next. And then we're going to publish this orchestration or the process. So now what we are going to do is we're going to create a new card. So let's just say weekly checklist for June 18, or let's just say 19, whatever the week is, right? So assignee, I can just assign it to myself, then save, right? So now, since I am the assignee, now the process, the next action is review. So I'm going to click on it, and as part of the review process, I need to make sure I have all these things done. So I'm going to do this, okay, verified, like, I'll check, okay, I did all this stuff, and I'm going to save it. Right, so now next stage is to verify it. So who, if it is going to another person, right now I just put it as assignee as myself, or it can go to another person, right? So we can go ahead and change it, or if it is just me, then it's fine. So let's just say we want to perform this action. Then what's going to say is, did I verify the records, yes or no? This is yes, and then we're going to save it. So this is how we got the basic orchestration working, right? So this is a manual way of creating a job. But what we want is, we want to schedule this thing to work each week. So that's what we are going to do now. We're going to go ahead, create a schedule. So what about schedule? Here it is. So under new schedules, we're going to say weekly bookkeeping review. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set weekly. Let's just say not on Sunday but on a Friday. Yeah, we need it's going to start this Friday, and let's just say yeah, whatever. Okay, expiry never, select a custom function. We're going to create a job, and then what it's going to do is, what is it going to do is we're going to need a bunch of stuff. So here I'm going to save org name, job title, weekly checklist, and we also need the layout ID. For that we need to say, need to open one more screen because I need to get the layout ID. So let me find it. I got the layout ID from the other screen, like, which is here. I'm going to take the layout ID and pass it on here, right? And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So here there's one thing that we need to do, save as new, save. So once you save this thing, what happens is the schedule is created, but it won't work yet because we need to invoke the connection, because it runs on an API. We need to invoke it. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and create a connection, Zoho auth, and we're going to say control connection, control connection, and we're going to scope is we're going to select orchestrally all, create and connect. Say control. Oh. All right. So now we just need this part. Right, and what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to our schedule, basically the custom function create job, and we are going to update it over here. After this, I'm going to say connection is control, save, and that's it. So what is going to happen is every week on that particular day a job will be created and it gets assigned to those people, to whoever it is, the assignee, and it's going to they have to go through the checklist and approve it. So it's as easy as that. I mean, we can do we can go and make this a lot more robust with a lot of configuration settings and things like that. That is for another video, but for now this is how you automate your weekly tasks. If you have a weekly checklist, monthly checklist, if you have something that you have to do every week, this is how we can automate it using Qntrl. I hope you like this video. Click on that like button if you like it, and subscribe to this channel, because this channel is going to talk about technology, all kinds of technology that is suitable for entrepreneurs. But I'm going to focus more on data analytics, automation, and no-code platforms. That's my specialty. So yeah, go ahead, subscribe to this channel, and thanks for watching.